Hey, Jerry, can you move that wall to the left? Thanks, Jerry. Oh, sorry, everyone. Let's go to a place that's a lot quieter, away from the construction. Okay, that's better. So, today we are talking about idleness. If you don't know what that is, it's basically laziness, doing nothing. Idleness is a very dangerous and very common sin, and if you do nothing about it, it can completely and utterly destroy your future. Every once in a while will only harm you a bit, but living a complete lifestyle of idleness has devastating effects. That's why I'm here to help you with the teachings of God. Now, there are a lot of things that can lead to idleness. Things like media and your phone. Luckily, you can cut those off. Matthew 5:29 through 30 says, "If your right eye causes you to sin, then tear it out and throw it away. For it is better to lose one of your members than that your whole body be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. For it is better that you lose one of your members than that your whole body go into hell." Idleness is a sin, as said in Proverbs 18:9. Whoever is slack in his work is a brother to him who destroys. So, being idle is definitely sinful. And if you are living a sinful lifestyle, then you aren't close to Jesus. So, you know that if things are causing you to be idle and it's pushing you farther away from Jesus, you absolutely need to get rid of it. Things like these can become idols, something that you value over God. If you want to be a good, strong Christian, you should always be working towards putting God at the center of your life. A couple examples of these idols are YouTube and other social media platforms, a show that you just can't stop watching, or a game that you play for hours on end. It is okay to have these things as long as you aren't overly obsessed with them. A good way to limit these things is to have a time limit for anything you think you are spending too much time on. And if that doesn't work, then cut it off entirely. Something I learned is that if you play a game or watch a show early on in the day, you want to be idle a lot more and work a lot less. So it's best to consume media and play games at the end of the day and get all of your work done first. And if you still have hours upon hours on end to be idle, then maybe start some new projects, finish old ones, or get some new hobbies entirely. You should only be consuming media for a couple of hours every day. Something else that I learned is that actually going outside and touching grass and just observing the majesty of God's creations, it really boosts creative energy. Other things you can do to overcome idleness are talking to your church leaders about it. They definitely know a lot more about these topics than I do, and they know your specific needs better too. If you feel nervous to ask them, just remember that teaching you how to live your life according to God is their actual job, and good leaders love to help others escape the traps of sin. Maybe even ask for prayer requests when you get the chance. Don't be embarrassed either. Almost everyone has experienced idleness from time to time, so I'm sure they will understand. Even I had to struggle through idleness when I was younger. There are more people who want to help you than just your church leaders and Bible groups. The people who first come to mind are your parents. You can ask them to help you by setting up time limits or even giving you chores. If your parents for some reason won't help you, ask your most trusted siblings or friends. And most importantly, don't forget that God will help you. God definitely doesn't want you to be idle, and He would love to help, so don't feel afraid to ask. If you don't feel like you want to get out of idleness, just imagine for a second how many things you could do with the time that you would normally spend laying around. If every person in the world was never idle, just imagine the kind of things that would be possible. Getting rid of idleness is definitely not easy, but if you can get rid of it completely, it'll be so worth it. And if you think it's crazy to take advice from just a pumpkin, remember, I'm not just a pumpkin. I'm a Christian pumpkin. See you later. Alright, back to construction.